Are you ready to talk some hockey? Get your opinions ready, because we're going to invite you to join us on stream. So brush that hair, get set, and welcome your host, Samwelb12. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to today's premiere episode of Wednesday Wraparound. Hopefully, everything sounds good. Hopefully, everything looks good. Hopefully, you can hear me as we're kicking off today's show. We're using a bit of a different setup, so we're going to try and work things out in this first episode. Welcoming everybody if you're watching on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you tuning in tonight as we're gonna talk some puck because it's been way too long. Noah's Ark, what's going on? Welcome in. Lucas, good to see you. Lewis D, how's it going? NMC in the house. Hayden, what's up? Thank you very much. Loves the intro. Thank you, Hayden. Appreciate that. Beverly, good to see you. And welcome in, everybody. Lucas, of course, it's great to see you. We haven't talked in a long time. We're just going to scroll back. EC3, Josh, Dean, welcome to the party. Coaster Mom, of course, great to see you. It's been far too long since we've had a chance to talk some hockey, and we're going to do things a little bit different today. This is a talk show we're going to do weekly, and we're going to bring it to you, not just for me to talk to you about hockey. It's a chance for you guys to come on stream and share your opinions, talk about what you like to see. Now, if you're tuning in on TikTok, you can certainly listen along. But if you want to get into the action, if you want to be part of the action, take the link in my profile, come on over to YouTube, where you'll be able to come into the stream and actually talk some hockey with us. Now, we are coming from a different location today, parts unknown. We got the tree behind me. It's been a beautiful week where we are, and we're just ready to get going and share some hockey news, some hockey updates. We got lots of anniversaries in the chat. Wow, they kind of don't really come through here, but Noah celebrating 7 months, loves the new intro. Coaster Mom, 15 months as a channel member. Beverly, 7 months. Lucas for 7 months. Wow, has it really been that long? Wow, you guys, awesome. Thank you so much for your support with the channel memberships. We appreciate it so very much. Now, with some of those chats, they are a little bit delayed coming in, but that's okay. We're going to catch everything. So this is how it's going to work. The format we're going with is we're going to run through some of the news, and we've been posting videos and shorts on YouTube the last couple weeks about everything that's going on. So we're going to talk a little bit about those, and then we're going to drop a link in the chat. It's going to be in the YouTube chat. We're going to pin it atop the message board, and then you'll be able to click on that link, come in. If you want to have your video on, great. I'd love to see you and get to talk to you. If you don't want to have your video on and just the audio, hey, that's okay. We're just going to kind of go old school, first-time caller, long-time listener type of thing, where we're going to work through and talk some hockey. So let's jump right in, because there's been so much going on over the last little while, and it's going to be neat to kind of talk through it. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? Welcome in. Oh, man, I'm so excited, so excited. So let's go first about some of the signings. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, Connor Bedard was drafted first overall. And there was a conversation that came up, and some people were saying he's going to pull an Eric Lindros. He's not going to sign in Chicago. He's going to want to go elsewhere. Well, come on. We knew that wasn't going to happen. Chicago put pen to paper with Connor Bedard. He signs a rookie contract, $950,000, which is peanuts, because in about 3 or 4 years, he's going to be up around the $10, $11, $12 million contract. It's going to be insane what Connor Bedard's going to do. We also saw Gabriel Vilardi. We saw this guy was a superstar with the LA Kings last year. What he did up, he goes over and he's been trades and moves to Winnipeg. He just signs a deal for about $3.5 million. So good for him for signing. Brett Howden, Thomas Nosek, they each signed as well in Vegas and in Jersey. And there have been a few other minor signings. But there's a couple of big topics we need to go to where I know a lot of you are interested in hearing. And again, if you're on TikTok, Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. But make sure, come on over to YouTube so you can get in the action when I drop the link very, very shortly, so we can all kind of, I want to hear your opinions. I want to know exactly what you think of some of these situations. So we're going to start it off today, of course, with the Toronto Maple Leafs, because there's a lot going on here. Now, the big thing right now is Samsonov. Will they sign him? Won't they sign him? Well, Samsonov is going to arbitration, and that's happening on Friday. So 2 days away from Samsonov going to arbitration. Toronto and Samsonov have 2 days if they want to figure out an arrangement before arbitration kicks off. What does that mean, Sam? Tell us. I don't understand the arbitration process. Well, this is what it is. They've just submitted what they want. So the Leafs put in, was it like 2.9, something like that, of what they want to pay Samsonov. Samsonov wants to be up in the 4s. So they've submitted it. They've submitted their case. Samsonov says, here's all the reasons why I should get paid, in the $4 million range, the $4.9 million range. I'm a leader on the team. I helped them win, yada, yada, yada. Dallas, how's it going? Welcome in. Cabrera King, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Good to see you all here today. The Leafs put in their number. They put in 2.9. They say, yeah, he was great. He was a big part of our team. However, this is where we kind of see him fitting in. So now the arbitrator is going to review both sides, and then he's going to say, Samsonov, this is the number that you should get. AAU Triton, what's going on? Welcome in. I'm a stacker. Welcome in. So they're going to give a number. The Leafs can either accept it, pay him that, and move forward, or they can reject it, and then he becomes a free agent. Nick, how's it going? What's up? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So that's going in. It's going to happen. The Leafs, like I said, they have 2 days to come up with a number. I kind of think they're going to settle on the 3.5, 3.9 range. That's kind of what I think. However, this arbitration now creates a very big piece of the puzzle that is needed. And what is that piece of the puzzle? Well, as soon as the arbitration hearing is done and they either accept, decline, or settle, that opens up a second buyout period for Toronto. And that's going to move us into the next topic that I want to hear your opinions about. So start thinking, because I'm going to put that link in soon and welcome you onto the stream. Now, when that second buyout period opens up, Toronto can either buy out Matt Murray. However, it's not as easy as it may seem. Matt Murray makes too much money. Yeah, let's get rid of him. Let's buy him out. The problem is Matt Murray, if he's not fit to play, they can't just buy him out. Because of the injuries he's had, the concussions, the groin, the back, so on and so forth. If he's fit to be on long-term IR, they cannot buy him out, but they can move him to long-term IR. So not only do they have to figure out the situation with Samsonov, but now they got to figure out, is Murray fit to play? And if so, can we buy him out? If he's not, let's come to an agreement and move him to long-term IR. If he is fit to play and they don't want to buy him out, can they make a move? Can they find somebody to take Murray? Can they trade him to another team? Maybe send Murray and a prospect, maybe a Nick Robertson, which I'd hate for them to do, but some kind of package to move Murray's salary away. So it's going to be an interesting situation. And with the arbitration hearing coming up on Friday, we should know through the weekend or into early next week what's going to happen. And of course, we will have all that information coming across for you. Now, the other piece that we need to talk about, and I'm not going to get too much into it now because I want to hear you guys talk about it, is the William Nylander situation. What is going to happen with little Willie? William is set to want in the range of $10 million for season. Wow, $10 million. The Leafs say, nah, we kind of see him like an 8.5 at most. So it's come out. Elliot Friedman was reporting that neither team is budging right now. Nobody wants to move. Now, it's okay. Nylander does have 1 year left on his contract, and they can ride out that contract. They can ride out that year, and at the end of this upcoming hockey season, he would just be a free agent and be good to go. Dallas, we're a parts unknown, Dallas. So that's what they could do with Nylander. They could let him go and for nothing. But, man, as fans, we would hate that, right? He's such a good player. We got to get something for him. So there's so many trade rumors swirling around now. We've posted a bunch of them on our YouTube page, what they're talking about. There was deals with Calgary, potentially Anaheim. There's so many deals that are being talked around. We don't really know what it's going to come to be. Now, Toronto may say, you know what? We're just going to play him right now. and they could look to move him throughout the season. Now, I wouldn't hate that as long as they end up moving him. You'd hate for them to get stuck and just lose him for nothing. And the problem is with that contract, it becomes less of a favor for the Toronto the longer they wait to move him. Because listen, if he wants 10 million, no team is going to give him 10. Leafs lover says, give him 10. Give him 10 million. How? I don't know if the problem is, and this is where things get tricky, right? You say, give him 10 million. Okay, so you give Nylander 10 million. Now you're in real cap trouble because you still have to get Samsonov in. So let's pretend he makes 3.5, 4 million. You give Nylander 10. Well, what do you do with Matthews? Matthews, you still got to get him an extension. Now, Elliot Friedman was saying Matthews and Toronto are definitely getting a deal done. He's definitely staying. They're just kind of debating on term right now. But whatever you give Matthews, if he stays 8 years and you give him the 14.5, if he stays 3 years, 4 years, and you give him, 13.5, it's going to be something astronomical. Well, what's going to happen next year when all of a sudden John Tavares and Mitch Marner are due up to get extensions? No, don't give him 10. 8.5 for 2 to 3 years. There you go, Leafs lover. I'm with that. You think the Wings will get Patrick Kane? I saw rumors who played with DeBrincat. You know what, Neymar? I wouldn't hate that. The problem, though, with Patty Kane right now is he's just coming off surgery. So Kane is going to be out for a little while. So I wouldn't expect him to sign anywhere till, honestly, kind of closer to Christmas time. He is recovering from his surgery. He's working out already. He's a beast. He's working out already, but I don't expect him to really sign until the season gets going, and we're talking that November, December time period. So that's kind of a lot of what's going on, right? There's so many tiles that need to fall, so many dominoes that need to fall, and everything kind of relies on each other. So what I'm going to do now that we've kind of gone through some of the Leaf news, I want to get a link over there, and I want to start talking to you because that's what this show is all about. It's talking with you to understand your opinions. What do you like? What would you do if you're the GM? Because a lot of us out here on the YouTubes, we talk about this stuff all the time. And you sit and you watch video after video and hear about it and you put in the comments, which, by the way, I love your comments. I respond to every single comment on YouTube and I try to get to them all on TikTok, but there's so many. So I do my best. But I want to hear from you. So what I'm going to do, if you're watching on TikTok and you want to come on the show, come on over to YouTube. You can click my profile. There's a link there that'll bring you over, or just search the Samwelb12 Experience. You can also just search Samwelb12, and I'm the only one that'll pop up. So let me get this invite link. I'm going to put it in. Now, there's a little bit of some rules to how we're going to do this. And this is how it's going to go. A, I ask that you please be above the age of 18 plus to come on in. Gerard, how's it going? Welcome. Jonathan, good to see you. So 18 and over, you are more than welcome to come in. We also ask you, please watch the language. We don't want any language. Hockey from home, Victoria, good to see you. Bibbs kids in the house. What's going on? Thank you very much. And it's freezing down here, so we had to go thick. We had to go thick. Triton coming in with the member for 15 months. Thank you very much, Triton. Appreciate all of your support. All right, so 18 plus. No language. Let's kind of keep it family friendly. And that way, YouTube will do its thing and it'll be good. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, this is going to be zero tolerance. So if there's any cursing, you will immediately get cut off. Anything inappropriate, you will immediately get cut off. So let's have some fun and let's make sure this goes well so we can continue to do this as we go. All right, so we're going to post that link in the chat, and I'm going to pin it. I should be able to pin it. Nope, don't want to do it from there. All right, I got to hop over here. Bear with me a moment. So we're going to hop over here. I'm going to pin that link, replace pin message. All right, so you should be good to go now. You'll be able to join us on stream by clicking that link. And all right, we have our first guest ready to come in right away. Please welcome to the show, Hayden. What's going on, Hayden? How are you, my friend?
I miss hockey.
I miss hockey. I miss hockey too. It's funny, Hayden, because we chat, in the Discord, and we chat other places. And for those of you who want to join our Discord, you'll see links in the chat. You should come on in and hang out. And it's so funny because hockey ended what? We're maybe 30 days, 40 days away from the Stanley Cup ended. and we just can't get enough. So Hayden, I know you're a Leaf fan. What do you think? What do you want the Leafs to do on kind of both fronts? The Samsonov front, where do you think he's going to settle, and what would you do with Nylander?
I'm gonna start with Samsonov. First of all, they have to get him signed. Because I don't want to have someone back up Wall the whole time. Because I think Wall should have at least 1 full backup season. So this whole arbitration thing, I think it'll work out well. I think they would give him around 3.5 for around 3 years, in the middle for 2.9, 4.9.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to get him signed no matter what.
I agree. I'm in that same range, the 3.5, 3.9. And 1 second before we go to Nylander, KW on TikTok, opinion on the Flames. We'll go to the Flames next. We're going to talk a little bit about Calgary. But yeah, sorry, go on, Hayden. Tell us about your thoughts on Nylander.
I love Nylander. He's been great for us, but if he's gonna just refuse to, if he's gonna just keep asking him to take 10 million, I would rather trade him and get something good for him, because you can't trade Matthews at this point. You have to get him signed. You can't let him walk free.
I agree wholeheartedly. You got to get Matthews done. Nylander's probably waiting to see what Matthews gets, so he can kind of use that in his back pocket, because Nylander did tie Matthews in goals last year, even though we all know Matthews just had an off year. Gerard celebrating 2 months as a channel member. Thank you very much, Gerard. We appreciate you so very much. Let me bring somebody else in to join us in this conversation. Not so much a Leaf fan, but I'm very curious to what he has to say, and I'm actually very excited to talk to this individual.
I already don't like him.
Josh, how's it going? Welcome in, my friend.
Hi. The Florida Panthers are going to do good this year.
Florida Panthers are going to do really good this year. And Gerard coming in with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Gerard. Appreciate that. Love you, Sam. Great to be here. For the family experience, you got it. Thank you very much, Gerard. I'm happy that you're a part of our show.
The Florida Panthers should have won the playoffs, but they lost because they were acting stupid that day.
That was tough. That was tough. So let's ask your question. Let me ask you the question. What do you think the Florida Panthers, why are you so strongly believe they're going to be a great team this year?
Because the players they picked up in the draft.
Yeah, they made some nice moves. Listen, I'm a Panther fan, second to my beloved Maple Leafs, and I'm really excited with what potential they're going to do. Now, of course, we know what happened in the playoffs. They kind of ran out of steam, but we got to give the Panthers props. They knocked Boston out in 7. Nobody thought that was going to come. Alex, what's going on? Welcome in. Nobody thought the Panthers were going to do it. They did it. They beat Toronto too. Ouch, that one hurt. Of course, Carolina. That was incredible. And they go all the way to the finals and ups to Vegas. Vegas smoked them. But we know what was going on with the Panthers. Matt Tkachuk, some pretty significant injuries that he was fighting. I'm surprised he even showed up to play. So, Josh, Let me ask you, who on the Panthers, do you have a favorite Panther player right now?
No.
For me, it's Carter Verhaeghe. I am such a huge Carter Verhaeghe fan. What he is doing is absolutely incredible. Panthers got experience. That's what's going to make him a better team. Leafs lover, absolutely. This playoff run, they will be a great team. They are going to be good. Listen, we know Tkachuk is going to come back better than ever. Barkov was amazing. I was a little upset the Panthers got rid of Anthony Duclair. Not going to lie. I kind of liked him. I thought he fit in well, but sometimes you got to make those moves. Len, how's it going? Welcome to the show. So Panthers up there, they're going to be a good one. Hayden, what do you think about Florida? You think Florida has it in them to go the distance, get back in the playoffs, and give it a good run?
Yes, I think I do. And I'm not trying to defend any Panthers fan, but I think the only reason why they made it to the finals this year was because of Bobrovsky. But I think they are going to be a better team this season, and I think they're going to win like a team this year and do good in the playoffs.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with you. Bobrovsky was absolutely incredible. Totally lights out. And I got to tell you, I'm not a Bobrovsky fan. Watching him over the years, I've had him in hockey pools so many times, and he's let me down big time. So when this playoff run was going, I was like kind of holding my breath a little bit. I really liked Alex Lyon. It's too bad the Panthers didn't, get him re-signed because he looked really good, a lot of potential. But yeah, Bobrovsky was stellar. I think they're going to be a lot of fun for sure. Now, if you're watching and you want to get into the show, there's a link in the pinned message. Feel free to click on it and come on in. Let me get this little reminder banner up here. You can just click on that, come and join the conversation with myself, Josh, and Hayden. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to join the show, come on over to YouTube, click that link, and you can come on and join us. Host Gator says, I have to root for Tampa Bay now. You know what, Triton? I'd be okay with that. Because, during our first season, I worked so hard to convert you to a Leaf fan. You were cheering against the Leafs the whole time, and we got you there. And then you even picked up a little bit of a Panther fan. So I take that challenge. If Gator is going to get you to cheer for the Tampa Bay Lightning, I challenge you, and we'll have some fun during this upcoming season as I cheer for the Panthers and you go for the Tampa Bay Lightning. All right, let's switch gears because I know we had a question in the chat and on the TikTok chat about the Calgary Flames. So maybe Josh, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about the Calgary Flames? We know they were a bit of a dumpster fire at the end of last year. Do you think they've kind of sorted things out? Hey, Morgan, welcome in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Hayden, what about yourself? What's your standpoint on Calgary right now?
I mean, I don't think they're going to be as bad, but I think they are going to miss the playoffs.
Ooh, you think they're going to miss the playoffs again? I mean, it's tough, right? They were in the running last year, and it was pretty tough. Curtis Joseph, how's it going? I don't want to pop in the Panthers bubble, but the teams that go to the finals a lot of times don't make it back. That's true. They don't. Alex, there should be a pinned message at the very top of your chat. If you click on that pinned message, it's a link to come in and join us. So here's my thoughts on the Calgary Flames. We know what they went through last year, and it was pretty brutal. They were made some good runs, and then they kind of fell apart. And then a lot of the players kind of came out against the coaching staff and said, no, this isn't going to work. And so they had to make some changes, and they did. I like Jonathan Huberdeau a lot. I was a big fan of him in Florida. Listen, the guy set an NHL assists record, and he was great. And here is the person, I think it was KW, put in the request. Let's bring KW in to talk some Flames and join us. KW, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming over to YouTube.
Yeah, no problem.
So it was you made the request, correct, about Calgary?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let's talk Flames. So Huberdeau, I'm a huge fan. What he did in Florida was exceptional. I
agree.
He did not really want to come to Calgary. It took a little bit of arm twisting once he came to sign. Didn't kind of live up to expectations last year, but I still believe that Huberdeau, he's not going to be that unbelievable goal scorer, but he's going to be that playmaker to set things up. I think he just needed to get that season under his belt. Nazem Kadri, man, we know what Nazem Kadri can do. We saw in Toronto, this kid lit it up. He was a gritty grinder, would go in the corners, didn't score a lot, but he was pretty much used as a third, fourth line player. Goes to Colorado, finds out how to be a good hockey player, all of a sudden becomes a superstar, tons of goals, really led Colorado during that season. Then comes over to Calgary, struggled a little, but again, I think Kadri is going to have a great year. When you look at who they have up front with Huberdeau, Kadri, Mangiapane, there's some great talent here. On the D side, Mackenzie Weegar, who I love, Hannafin, if they end up signing him to an extension or trading him, who knows if he'll be here. He's been rumored, one of those players to come to Toronto. I kind of hate, and I disagree with you a little bit. I think Calgary gets into the playoffs, but I think it's kind of the bottom half of that lineup. And of course, we're talking teams are going to make or miss the playoffs by 1 or 2 points. It's going to be close. So KW, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you think about Calgary.
Right now, it's hard to say. I mean, if you look at a lot of teams, especially in the West, that want to be competitive, they've made a lot of big trades and big signings. Like Dubois to LA, the Jets stacking up, even the Oilers making some good signings with Connor Brown. So in our division especially, it's going to be very tight as in that race. Now, go back to what you said about Huberdeau. He's great when he is on his game and everything is going his way. One person I'm concerned about is Markstrom. That has been the biggest concern for me is what's Markstrom going to do this year? Because he's streaky.
Yeah, you're not wrong there at all. Markstrom is definitely, what is it going to be? And he's been, Markstrom has, or I shouldn't say Markstrom, Calgary's kind of been in this position for a while, right? Where their goaltending has been up and down. They haven't really been able to find that solid goaltender to get the job done. They've always been bouncing around. So can Markstrom get it done? Or maybe he's packaged out with a Hannafin or some of these other players that are due up for extensions, because there's still a lot. Like Calgary has a lot of UFAs right now that are due for extensions. So maybe there's a package coming.
What is your opinion on the New York Rangers this year?
Ooh, the Rangers. So I got to tell you, my partner channel, the Florida Park Explorers, who they're amazing. They're also big Ranger fans. And so, I kind of rooted for them a little bit last year because, my partner channel, Dave, the Bear Shark over at the Florida Park Explorers, he was a diehard. And so I kind of, was cheering for him. Sometimes I'd cheer against them just because, I'd have that power. If I cheer for a team, they'd lose. So if I cheer against the Rangers, they'd end up winning. I was shocked they lost to New Jersey Devils in the playoffs last year. Shocked. I really thought the Rangers were going to take them. I did not give Jack Hughes the credit that Hughes deserves. He lit it up. Now, the Rangers this year, they've had some key components change around. Obviously, Kane was a big one. I think Panarin needs to step up and be Panarin. Zibanejad is going to be fine. No issues with him. Kreider was very disappointing. I think in the playoffs last year, didn't see a lot from him. I'm a big Trocheck fan. I think they got a lot of good kids in Hedl and Kakko and, of course, Lafreniere. But now they got to step it up. We've seen them developing. Now they actually have to get into it and, put something together to make it count. So the Rangers, do they have a good chance? Yeah, I think they do. How far they're going to get, it's really going to be about how these young kids start to develop. That's where I think the challenge is going to be for the Rangers. What do you think about them?
I think they're going to go farther than what they did last year.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
That's I think what we need to see from them. We need to see them do something like that. Goaltending, of course, Shesterkin, he can be superhuman sometimes not, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, if you're watching on TikTok, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. You can come on over to YouTube and get live in the show. We have a taco eater on TikTok says Flames are going to be garbage. We'll have to see. Let's switch gears and talk about the Chicago Blackhawks, because the Blackhawks obviously have just come up with somebody kind of big in Connor Bedard. And I think we need to have a little bit of a conversation about where that's going to go. But before I switch gears and go over to Chicago, I want to just reach back out. Hayden and Josh, we have both of you joining us. Before we get into Chicago, any other comments on Toronto or Calgary or the Florida, the teams we talked about?
No.
No? Okay. And if anybody else wants to join in, feel free to click that link. Come on in. We'd love to get your opinions as well about some of these teams and your favorite players that are out there. All right, let's talk.
Hey, I'm gonna head out real quick. Okay.
All right, cool, Josh, man. Nice talking to you.
Thanks
for coming in. Appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Everybody, make sure to subscribe to him.
There you go. Thanks, Josh. See you later.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay,
All
I was
right.
wrong. He's a cool dude.
That was awesome. Love when you guys come in and share your opinions. Gerard has a question before we switch up. Will Murray make it happen? And do you think about Samsonov? So Gerard, I think we chatted about this a little bit before you joined in. The problem with Murray is he fit to play? Right? If he's fit to play, then they can buy him out or trade him. If he's not fit to play, he has to go on long-term IR, and each one will have different implications. Samsonov hearing is coming up on Friday, and depending on what happens out of that hearing, we're going to know a lot more. And I think a lot of the pieces will start to fit together once we know what goes on there. All right. Triton has a question. A very important question by Triton. Whoops. There's Jonathan. Here, Triton says, host, I have a question. Will there be more pies to the face this season? Yeah, no worries, Gerard. No worries.
Oh, we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen, he says. Triton, we're going to have a very big celebration potentially coming up this season. For those of you that aren't number watchers like I am, we're sitting at about 8.2K. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. And when we hit 10K, we're going to do something special. We're going to have a ton of fun. Josh, what's going on? Welcome. All right, let's go over. Oh, Dallas wants to know what about Bot and Bot 2.0. So we'll talk about the Oilers in a minute. I know KW wanted to talk about the Oilers, but let's switch gears. Let's talk about Chicago and Leafs lover. Great question. Great thought there. Let's go there next. So let's talk first about Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks. And we have a little bit of a serious conversation to get into. And Hayden, I might not drag you through the mud for that one, but let me get your opinions on the Blackhawks. So Chicago, as we know, going through a bit of a rebuild, right? They got to blow up their team. They didn't know what they want to do. Josh, absolutely, my friend. We're going to be going weekly, and hope you'll be able to hang out. All right, so Taylor Hall comes over. Nice little pickup. I have a mixed bag of feelings about Taylor Hall. 31 years of age. I thought he played great in Boston. I think he'll come in, be a pretty good mentor, on this team as a leader. Tyler Johnson, of course, still there. He played well. Of course, not the same Tyler Johnson from his Tampa Bay years, but he was pretty good. Nick Foligno comes over as well as Taylor Hall. We know what he can do. Some toughness and leadership presence in Corey Perry coming over. So that's going to be good. So I think Connor Bedard has a nice group around him of maybe not superstars, but players that can mentor him, coach him, protect him, because that's going to be a big one. You don't want guys taking runs and shots at Connor Bedard. So what are your thoughts about what Chicago has done so far in this offseason?
First of all, I agree with you about protecting him because Bedard is small for the hockey sports, and people know what he can do, so they will target him. So to have someone protect him would be good. I think the Blackhawks, if he's up for one more season, I think they should sign Taze to a one more season deal to kind of mentor Bedard a bit, to have that veteran with him. And I think I think the Blackhawks will miss the playoffs for the next couple seasons before they become real contenders again. But I think they're getting better. I see them being a real threat in a couple seasons.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. The Jonathan Taze situation is very interesting, right? We know he's got some health issues, kind of did his farewell tour, if you will, said goodbye. I think he certainly would have been a good player to come in and mentor young Bedard. I also think maybe there's an opportunity where they bring Patrick Kane back as for 1 year to kind of mentor him. But, Kane really wants to go somewhere they're going to win. I don't think Chicago is going to be a Stanley Cup contender this year. So I don't know if Kane would want to come here. We did bring up on the screen, courtesy of Cap Friendly, the forwards here for the Chicago Blackhawks, so you guys can see, who they currently have rostered and what their salaries are. let's put it out there in the chat. I'd love to get your thoughts as well on this one. Connor Bedard, Hayden, what do you think in chat? I want your answers here. How many goals does Connor Bedard get in his rookie campaign? So chat, let me see your numbers. What do you think Bedard is going to get? And Hayden, what's your thoughts?
I think this one before I say all that. In my opinion, I don't think he'd be like McDavid. I think McDavid will always be in a league of his own. Bedard, he will be good, but I don't think it'll be no McDavid. But I say I say he gets maybe on like kind of still on a bad rebuild team. I say he gets around 35 to 40 goals.
Are you in my head? That's exactly the number I was going to pick. Leafs Lover says he got 70 in the WHL. I'm going to say Bedard scores 35 to 40. Yeah, Leafs Lover, we're right in that same ballpark. I'm kind of thinking 35 goals is about where he's going to end up. Lucas, a lot of 50s. Beverly, wow, Beverly, if he goes out in rookie campaign, 63 goals, holy cow. Beverly, that would be outstanding. Len's going in there with 30. Yeah, so we're kind of in the same range, that 30, 35, 30 goals, 45 assists. That would be pretty sick. That would be a great first season. Put up that many points. That would be absolutely outstanding. Nick's going over 50. I can see him finishing second behind McDavid. Could you imagine? That would be insane. McDavid and Bedard 1-2 in goal scoring. Man. Now, let's say this. If that were to happen, if Bedard goes off, and again, I don't think he will, but if he does, and you're someone like Austin Matthews, and you finish behind Connor Bedard, do you take that as like, is that motivation? If you see Bedard has more goals than you as the season goes on, do you kind of go in a hyperdrive and you're like, no, I can't let this kid get more goals than me? I know what you meant, Curtis. It's okay.
Well, if I was a Matthews and I was in the league for this long, I scored 40 plus goals every season. And if I got passed by rookie, I would be more shocked than anything. Like I would just like be thinking all of a sudden, like how the heck did this kid beat me? He just got into here.
Right. Now we know, listen, when you compare Bedard's numbers to McDavid's numbers in the minors, I mean, they were like on pace with each other. It was so close. But as a youngster coming in this league, I don't think he's going to put up those kind of numbers. We saw what he did with Canada in the World Juniors. He can score, he can hit. Like, he's very much capable of just going off. But I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it's going to take him maybe 2-3 years before he really kind of picks those numbers up. Like, don't forget, he's still really young, and he's going to put on a lot more muscle, and he's only going to get stronger. So I think it's going to be pretty insane. All right, Hayden, I want to say thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. We'll definitely do this again and have you back on. So any last thoughts or comments before I kind of say goodbye to you for right now?
No, just pointing out the obvious that Luis will win the cup next season.
In 24 overtimes.
Yes. Has to
Awesome.
go into overtime.
Of course. Well, Hayden, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Yep, you too, Sam. Keep doing the good work.
Will do. Thank you, my friend. All right, that is our good friend Hayden coming in and hanging out and talking. Now, I do want to get into a bit of a serious conversation and something that I think it's important we touch base on a little bit. And that really is, let me get rid of this banner here. There we go. That really is the situation with Alex Galchenyuk. I don't know if a lot of you know the full situation. I don't want to get into it too deeply, but because this is Wednesday wraparound and we're wrapping our heads around everything that's going on in the National Hockey League, it would be remiss of myself if we kind of did not skip over this. So Alex Galchenyuk, he gets moved over and signs with the Arizona Coyotes. And the Coyotes, we know all the issues the Coyotes are having. Well, Galchenyuk, and we know he's spent some time in Toronto, Montreal, kind of bounced around. He had a little bit of a night, had a little too much, if you will, and kind of got himself in a whole heap of trouble, said a bunch of things he should have never said, and just kind of went off the rails. We'll leave it at that. If you want to know the full story, you're free on your own time to kind of dig into it. Well, of course, none of that will fly in the National Hockey League. And so immediately he was released from the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes putting out all kinds of statements. Galchenyuk did release a letter taking responsibility for his actions, apologizing, saying that he was really looking forward to being in Arizona and all that stuff. And so he is terminated. He also announced that he's entering the NHLPA assistance program. So Alex Galchenyuk, even though he made some very, very serious mistakes, he has, like I said, taken responsibility for his actions and is going to get help. So we do wish Alex all the best, and we hope that he gets the help he needs through the assistance program. It is always unfortunate. We saw this with Carey Price as well. Rockin', how's it going? Welcome in. We saw this with Carey Price several years ago, and it's very unfortunate when a player goes through this, and hopefully they get the help they need. Good night, Morgan. Thanks for popping in and hanging out. Appreciate it. Alex can't get in. So, Alex, if you click that link, it should allow you might have to give access on your phone to your camera or your mic to come in. The other big topic I want to talk about, and again, I don't want to go too deeply into it, but we have to bring it up, and that's what's going on with Hockey Canada right now. Nike, officially the latest sponsor to officially pull their sponsorship, their individual sponsorship from Hockey Canada because of everything that's going on. Again, you can look up the details on your own. But it is important to call it out that Hockey Canada is still, or Nike is still going to support Team Canada in the international tournaments and their sponsorship there. But when it comes to the team directly, Nike Canada has pulled their sponsorship. So two very, very serious topics that we kind of have to touch base on just to mention that it's out there so they're covered. All right, so if you're watching again on TikTok, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok as well. Really, really appreciate it. He's done in the NHL, probably go over. Yeah, DeBron, I agree with you. He'll probably end up going over to the KHL, playing overseas in Europe somewhere, but I agree. Probably done in the NHL. I don't think anybody's going to take a chance on him after this is going down. Now, on TikTok, if you want to get in the show, if you want to come on to the show, take my link, click on my profile, come on over to YouTube. There's a pinned message. You can click on that. You can come into the show and talk some hockey with us. Love to get your opinions on anything, players, teams, just to talk some hockey. And again, if you're in YouTube, you'll see it right at the top of your chat. There should be a pinned message that you can click on. And again, come right in. You are more than welcome to join us. We've had a couple of viewers come in and hang out with us tonight so far, and that's been absolutely awesome. All right, couple of things to discuss. With all the moves that are going on, we talked a little bit about Colorado. Yes, over 18, that is a good call. Over 18. And of course, if you do come in, we have to watch the language. So with everything that's going on, we talked about some of the teams that have gotten better. One of those teams we haven't talked about yet today is the Detroit Red Wings. And the Red Wings have made some great moves. We saw what they've done last year. The Red Wings looked real, real good. All right, good night, Alex. Thanks for hanging out. That's right. They certainly do. They certainly do, Rockin'. The Detroit Red Wings, they're looking pretty good right now. They have their captain, Dylan Larkin. They bring in DeBrincat, huge trade. They bring over Alex DeBrincat, which is a great move. I mean, I think they gave up quite a little bit to get him. Dominic Kubulik, one of those key pieces who I really liked in Detroit. He goes over to Ottawa. But DeBrincat coming over, of course, they have JT Compher as well. Klim Kostin they picked up. They got Kristen Fisher all signed. So some nice young talent and some veteran presence Detroit has put together. But I really like some of their defense with Ben Sherratt and Shane Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere was a nice signing. Moritz Seider, of course, is awesome. The one mistake I think Detroit made, the one mistake is signing Justin Hall. And they paid Justin Hall a lot of money. Good for him. $3.4 million for 3 years for Justin Hall. I was shocked when I saw he made that, but hey, good for him, right? Good for him. He absolutely deserves it. If someone's going to pay him that money, Justin Hall, take that to the bank. Such a tough division. There are a lot of tough divisions out there right now. Prep, what's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you. And I should have said, I don't know if Josh is still in the chat, but Josh coming on board as one of our champion members. So Josh, thank you very much for that. Appreciate all of the memberships so far and for all your support. That's the only thing I liked about the first day of free agent. Yeah, first day of free agent was crazy. It was absolutely gangbusters. What was going on? So Detroit is much improved. They're going to look good. The Ottawa Senators, they're in an interesting spot right now. The Ottawa Senators, of course, made some good moves. They've improved themselves. One of the other teams that I think is going to be awesome is the Buffalo Sabres. And Buffalo is a team we've kind of been watching from the corner of our eye over the last little bit. They went on a big tear last year. I think they had one of the best records in the second half of the year, if I'm not mistaken. But Buffalo, led by Tage Thompson, of all people, Tage Thompson is such an impressive superstar. What he did last year was just nuts. He put up amazing numbers, almost 50 goals in 78 games, 47 goals, 47 assists, monster numbers, and he looked good. Let's see. Is that Bunting signing good for the Canes? That is a very good question. Is that Bunting signing good for the Canes? Road Warrior coming in. Speaking of memberships, Road Warrior celebrating his 13-month over the year. Thank you, Road Warrior. Road Warrior is always here, always in the shadows, lurking. And then he pops out with a comment. But thank you, Road Warrior. Is the Bunting signing good for Carolina? Let me go to Carolina next, because Carolina definitely made some good moves. But talking about the Sabres, they got Jeff Skinner tied up. They got Thompson, Dylan Cousins, Victor Olofsson is still there. Alex Tuck, who's starting to find his game again, looking really, really good. On the D sign, I mean, you love Dolan. Connor Clifton has been good. They sign Eric Johnson and my boy Ilya Lyubushkin. Oh, love Lyubushkin. Such a good, tough forward. I think the problem that Buffalo has this year is that's it. User, you just said it. Buffalo has no goalie. That is going to be their downfall of this season if they don't get their act together and find themselves a goaltender. You can't win hockey games if you got no tender. And that is really where the big challenge is going to come from them. Okay, Joshua, welcome in. Panthers first. Panthers. So, yeah, we talked about the Panthers earlier. Panthers are going to be real exciting to watch this year. They got a lot of talent. But let's talk Carolina Hurricanes, because Carolina was one of those teams that was really busy. And they were signing some guys, making some moves. When we look at their whole lineup, and let's actually pull it up here. Let's pull it up so everybody can see it. Here we go. Come on, let's switch screens. There we go. All right, so we got, we want little me. Nope. There we go. Whew, too many screens to click through. So here we go, and we're looking at Carolina. Of course, Sebastian Aho. Aho, man, so good. So good what he can do. They got Teravainen is good. Jesper Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi, when he played in Montreal, didn't really have the mojo, but certainly came out looking real good. Nick, let's go back to New Jersey. We're going to go to New Jersey next. Kotkaniemi really came on, really impressed me what this kid can do. And then you get into Michael Bunting. So this signing hurt as a Leaf fan, even though he was hated by the officials and never got anything going his way. I think this is a fantastic sign up for Carolina. RK, what's going on? Sensei, yeah, so out of those three, I mean, all three of those teams are so much improved. Sabres need goaltending or they're going to do it. Sens probably have the best chance, but the Wings are going to be right there with them. So Michael Bunting, glad he got paid. Listen, he was still making that rookie money. It was last year was the end of his kind of rookie contract. He gets $4.5 million. He's going to bring some grit and some greasiness to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's going to kind of fill that same type of role as us Toronto fans were looking for when we picked up kind of a Max Domi or a Zetterberg. He's going to come in and he's going to look, or it's not Zetterberg. Oh my God. Bertuzzi, excuse me. Wow. Zetterberg. Wouldn't that be nice? Bertuzzi. He's going to come in. He's going to score some goals. You know, he's going to get his 20 goals and he's definitely going to take some penalties, but he's going to stand up for the teammates. And that's exactly what he needs. He needs to get those teammates in there and stand up for them. Of course, you got Natchez is amazing. He's got 1 year left and before he's a restricted free agent. If we go down to their defense, they got some pretty good D as well with Orlov, Slavin, Brett Burns, Brady Shea, Pesce. The question is Pesce and Shea going to be there when the season starts? You know, Carolina still has some moves they could make if they don't hand out any extensions. And of course, they signed Freddie Anderson to that longer-term deal. So they got themselves a good goaltender. I really think Carolina is going to make some noise and be a contender yet again. There's no reason why I don't see Carolina doing that. All right, let's go over to New Jersey. Let's talk some Devils. And if you want to come in, if you're just joining us on the stream and you want to come in and join us, if you're on TikTok, click the link on my profile page or go to YouTube and search Samwelb12, the name at the top. And there's a link in the pinned message at the top of the chat. You can come on and join me live on stream. We'd love to get your opinions and your thoughts about everything that is going on. All right, let's go over to, my gosh, what team did I just say we're going to do? New Jersey. Let's go to the Devils. This really is a wraparound because we are flying through so many teams right now. This is absolutely incredible. This is exactly what we wanted to do. But again, if you want to come, if you want to join me, come on in. Don't be shy. Brush your hair and come in and join us. Dang, missed 15 minutes. Bedard, 39 goals. Yeah, Gerard's going 39 goals for Bedard. I think he'll be there. I think he'll be pretty close. All right. When we look at New Jersey, again, I admitted it. New Jersey shocked me last year. I did not think they were as good of a team as they were. Jack Hughes really came on strong, and he was impressive, right? Hughes was super impressive last year. What did he end up with? 99 points, 43 goals, 56 assists, 99 points. In the playoffs in 12 games, he had 11 points, almost a point per game. And Jack Hughes had some pretty big goals in those playoffs. So if Jack Hughes can continue to play that type of hockey that he did last year, man, there's no stopping this kid. He's 22 years of age. So he is absolutely going to lead this New Jersey Devil team. And let's not forget, he's surrounded by some great players. Timo Meier is still there. They signed him for a long deal. So Meier and Hughes together. Jasper Bratt is still there. Nico Hischier still there. Again, they drafted Hughes, Bratt, and Hischier. They got Andre Palat, which was a great signing. Again, kind of like Johnson, who we talked about earlier. He doesn't have that same mojo that he had when he played for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But Andre Palat is still a darn good hockey player and will be impressive. They pick up Tyler Toffoli. Toffoli, coming across. I think Toffoli is one of the most underrated players in the league. He is a very good goal scorer, very good with this puck. And so it'll be interesting to see what Tyler Toffoli can do. So very impressed with him. And of course, the list goes on, like these names. Eric Haula. Haula, they bring him in. He's a darn good hockey player. You got your toughness kind of with Bastien McLeod. You got Curtis Lazar coming in. Nosek is in there. So some great players. Then you go to defense, and it doesn't get any easier. You got Dougie Hamilton. He's almost an all-star. He is an all-star. John Marino is in there. Schlegenheimer. You Colin Miller. great players. And of course, you then have the other Hughes brother in Luke Hughes. And I got to tell you, I think Luke Hughes is going to be the best of the Hughes brothers. Luke Hughes, I think he's going to be really, really good. Iran, I am fantastic. Hope you are. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us. So again, if anybody in the chat wants to join me on stream, feel free to click that link in the pinned message. Come on in, and I'd love to get your opinions if you haven't joined us yet. So Iran, if you want to come in here, Gerard, you want to jump on, Len, Prep, if you want to jump in, Dallas, Triton, come on in. You are more than welcome. All right, Joshua, take it easy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. So I really think the Devils are going to be stellar, but I think the Devils have the same issue that Buffalo has, and that is going to be goaltending. I am not a believer that Vitek Vanacek is your starting goaltender. I do not believe that Vanacek is going to win you a ton of hockey games, and that is going to be the problem for the New Jersey Devils. They're going to do well, but you need that goaltender. Now, I think the Devils have some more depth and firepower than the Buffalo Sabres, but without that goaltending, man, it is going to be difficult. Very, very difficult. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. We really couldn't ask for a better free agent period. So much drama, so many guys moving around, lots of signings. So all good things to come. Now, one of the things we have to talk about is Pierre-Luc Dubois. And I'm just trying, I want to pull it up here because there was so much in this trade that went down, and then they signed him. So let me go back because I don't want to misquote this deal. So I got to find it here. Let's go. This was a major trade. So Pierre-Luc Dubois. Here we go. So in case you did not hear what was moved, the Los Angeles Kings, in exchange for Pierre-Luc Dubois, send to Winnipeg Alex Iafallo, Rasmus Kupari, Gabriel Velarde, and a 2024 second-round pick. Now, Velarde was such a staple in LA. This kid had an unbelievable season with the Kings. So I was shocked when I heard that Velarde was on the move. And I think they gave up a lot LA give up in order to bring over Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now, Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's kind of, he seems to have a little bit of an attitude, right? He seems to have a little bit of an ego, had some challenges in Winnipeg. I don't really think that he was the type of player that was an impact player. Like Pierre-Luc Dubois bounced around a little bit. He had some troubles, just couldn't really make things happen. Wasn't great in Columbus. I mean, the most he had, I think, was 61 points in Columbus, 27 goals. In Winnipeg, he got 60 points, 28 goals. So you trade all of that, which they did, and then they signed him to a ridiculous contract, an absolutely ridiculous signing. Let me see, how far back do I have to go? Let me tell you, he signed, I can look right here. Pierre-Luc Dubois, he signs, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Pierre-Luc, come on, Kings. Here we go. At the Kings, Pierre-Luc signs $8.5 million. $8.5 million for a player who has only ever reached 63 points as his career high. $8.5 million for somebody who has not scored more than 30 goals. That's a lot of money, and I don't understand it. And here's somebody who hates some of these contracts. You know her. Some of you like her. Please welcome. I gotta switch my thingy thingamabobby here. Please welcome in. There we go. DHG, what's going on? How are you? You're on mute, but that's okay. All these years of screaming and you haven't figured out.
No, I didn't want to. I had to clear my throat, and I didn't want that to be in the background. Only some people. Yeah, poison olives are being thrown at you. I just had to come in and say this is awesome. Thank all to the hockey fans for coming in and talking their trash and saying their thoughts. It's awesome.
Well, while you're here, we don't need to talk about Pierre-Luc Dubois. I've already given him more time than he's worth. Let's talk about this guy over here, Willie.
Ooh.
So I know we've obviously talked a lot about the Leafs over the last little while. What are your thoughts about Willie? Curtis says 8.5 mil. No wonder Nylander wants 10 plus. It's crazy.
Well, it's math, right? You got to do the math. Like if Matthews wants like 13, 14, and Samsonov's gonna want a bunch. Like there's only so much money in the piggy bank, and not everybody can make bot money. Not everybody can make bot money. Because what's McDavid, 12.5? Did we say?
McDavid, I'll tell you 1 second. Yeah, he's up there. McDavid is making some nice change.
He's not going hungry. Dude's not going hungry.
No, yeah, he's making 12.5.
Yeah. So I think if Matthews gets 12.5, 13, he should be, especially after the season he just had. He didn't really earn 12 or 12.5. He didn't earn bond money this past season. He really didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe before.
And so we know, they're going to come to an agreement with Matthews. They're going to figure it out. But with Nylander, if they can't trade him, like he wants 10, the Leafs say, no, we want to give you in the 8s. And neither of them are moving. Neither of them are budging.
Dude, seriously. Just call it, say, I'll take 9 and call it a day. Like, honest to Pete.
Yeah, and if
there was women negotiating this stuff, it wouldn't take this long. I'm putting that out there. Am I right, Wilma? Wilma, am I right?
There you go. If they can't come to a deal and the Leafs don't want to trade him because they can't get anything, maybe all the other teams are like, no, we're not going to pay him $10 million either, so we don't want him.
Right.
Would you let him just play the season out and kind of say, all right, well, hey, season is over. See you later?
Maybe there's math is the math. You can't argue with math, and there is only so much space, and you have to prioritize Matthews. Matthews is a priority to keep him, and Samson. I think they need to prioritize Samsonov. He really pulled through for the Leafs especially in the playoffs. So I think they need to prioritize his contract. So it's unfortunately you gotta take what's left. Sorry.
It's going to be a tough situation for sure. I mean, you hate to let a guy go. I mean, we've seen this with the Toronto Raptors. Toronto fans know, Kyle Lowry, see you later, leaves town.
They're doing the championship.
Yeah, we just had.
That was Kawhi Leonard. Sorry, that was Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard ups and leaves. We've seen the Raptors seem to have this a lot. It was Chris Bosh up and left. And we just had, I already blocked his name out of my mind. Latest Raptor up and left. So it's crazy. We don't want this. Oh no, it's an FD raid.
No, it's a raid.
Chris, what's going on? Welcome in.
It's a raid from Florida. How are y'all down there? You all hot down there?
Love it. What about reevaluating Nylander and Matthews at halfway point? You know what, RotoWire, that's not a bad idea. Do you kind of say to Nylander, look,
that's interesting.
Let's see where you are come the All-Star break, or whatever your time period is, and say, if you have, X amount of points, X amount of goals come the All-Star break, then we'll give you X amount of dollars. If you don't, then you kind of come to an incentive-based contract. That would be pretty awesome. That would be
I
very
think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, that's you get this much, and then we reevaluate it. Yeah, in the middle of the season, and if you're playing well, we can talk turkey. We can talk more. But yeah, if you're not bringing in the bacon,
it would be really tough. And again, if
or
you're
just
watching
bringing in
on,
the pucks, if you're not
bringing
bringing in
the
the pucks,
if you're watching on TikTok, thanks for joining us. You can always come over if you want to be part of the show. Come over to
yes,
YouTube. You can click the link and
come
share
on
your
over TikTok.
opinions. Again, TikTok, I don't know if you can hear the guests. You might hear their voice, but I know you're just staring at me. But come on over to YouTube and join the full show
Poor
over there.
TikTok. Oh my God. Seriously. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks.
I'm
So
kidding.
we talked, we talked about Toronto and what they're kind of gonna do. And there's another Canadian team that I think needs some discussion. We haven't really gone there, and that is the Edmonton Oilers. We talked about the Calgary Flames, and we know what they're gonna do. But the Edmonton Oilers are in a little bit of an interesting spot.
They are.
The Oilers, they made a lot of moves, right? They set themselves up in a good position for last season. It didn't quite work out. So if you're the Oilers brass at this point, you bring in Connor Brown, you make some moves. Are you kind of saying anything other than the Stanley Cup final and we blow up this team and start from scratch?
Maybe. It doesn't hurt to start from the bottom. I mean, like, what are they like with all this AI now? Are they just gonna like clone McDavid's, make a whole team of McDavid's? You can't do that. You can't have a team of bots. These bots, and they're all named Connor. So the Connor bots they're unique. They come out once every few years. You get one. You can't.
It's like they're like the you put your quarter in the machine, you get the little egg, and you crack it open to see what's inside. But yeah, I mean, listen, the Oilers, they got Draisaitl, they got McDavid. We know they finished 1-2 in like everything, right? They're awesome. Oilers were a huge disappointment in the playoffs. I thought they would at least make the quarter. Yeah, you know what? The Cup final. I think, Aiden, a lot of people have that same opinion. They played well. You had Zach Hyman, who actually had a really good year for them last year. Evander Kane played okay, but he kind of faded. He had a great start to the playoffs and then kind of faded away and disappeared. So that was disappointing. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, what a season he had. I mean, Nugent-Hopkins was absolutely incredible. You had some great kind of bottom six players like Fogle and Janmark who did well. You got a great rookie in Dylan Holloway. So you got a lot of talent. And, of course, you bring in Connor Brown. Now, we, of course, know Connor Brown from his time in Toronto. We actually, back then, had both Zach Hyman and Connor Brown. And if you remember, Gator, what's going on? Welcome in. Gator, right, cheering on Dallas's strawberry chef. And, of course, talking about strawberries, we have tomorrow afternoon. It's an afternoon stream, 3:00. We are going to be baking. Sam is getting in the kitchen. We are making apple crumble. So if you're around tomorrow afternoon, you got to watch our How Not to Bake stream. It is going to be a blast. It's up now. It's scheduled. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you can't be there live, make sure to catch the replay because Baker Sam is getting in the kitchen.
Are the fire extinguishers charged and ready?
Fire extinguishers are charged and ready. We got
have an evacuation plan.
The fire department on standby.
You've alerted the fire.
We got the hose coming in the kitchen window. We're prepared.
You're good. I kid. You'll be fine.
It's going to be a blast.
You'll be
it's going to be good. Listen, the only thing, I mean, we're cutting up apples, so we got the bandages ready to go. We got
Remember, I'm still, even though you're at the cottage, I'm still 3 hours away from you. I can't come and stitch you up, dude.
There you go. No, we got the needle and thread. Dee's ready. She's going to stitch me up. And last time she did it, though, she stitched my shirt to my arm. It was just a disaster. But, no, I'm just kidding. It'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. But, yeah, we got our big stream on tomorrow afternoon.
Love it. That'll be so much fun.
So, yeah, I was saying, Connor Brown and Zach Hyman both were in Toronto. Toronto had to pick one of them. They elected to keep Hyman. Connor Brown goes over to Ottawa, has himself a fantastic career so far in Ottawa. Then comes and signs now with Edmonton. Do you think Connor Brown could be this missing link on the forwards for this team to kind of come together?
Maybe. He's played so well. He's named Connor. You know.
His name is Connor.
Yeah, how many freaking players are named Connor? Oh my god, it cracks me up. Yeah, no, he's been a solid player. So I think, yeah, if he gets the right players around him, like it's like anything, it's a team. It's a team sport. It's not McDavid can't be the whole team. Matthews isn't the whole team. One player just isn't the whole team. You have to put the right pieces together and play together.
It's so true.
So true.
You know, when we talk about they got those good forwards, their defense is a little interesting, right? Darnell Nurse, pretty solid. Matthias Ekholm, loved that pickup when they brought in Ekholm. Cody Ceci, again, he played okay. Brett Kulak, okay. Desharnais, okay. Evan Bouchard, I love, but he doesn't have a contract right now. He's a restricted free agent. So hopefully they get that one done. Yeah, Gerard, that's exactly, it has been their Achilles heel. They got all this. I like what they've done, though. You know, bringing in Matthias Ekholm, that core really came together. Evan Bouchard is going to be a big, big part of that defense, so they have to get it signed. But again, just like, you know, Buffalo, just like New Jersey, they have an issue in goal. They have Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner. And Jack Campbell is not going to be the goaltender who takes you down. He's not going to be the goaltender that can do it in long stretches.
Campbell just doesn't. He's too much in his head. I think he's too much in his head.
We've seen him play really good, but you're right. He's in his own head. When
I don't think so, Gator. Don't think so. Bye, Wilma.
See you, Beverly. When things don't go his way, he falls apart. And Stuart Skinner, you know, he's 24 years old. He's still a kid. So I think the Oilers need to come up with something in this goaltending category. I don't think Jack Campbell's going to be the one. And I hate to say it because who doesn't love Soupy, right? He's so good.
He's a great player when he's got it together. Unfortunately, his consistency is an issue.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at what Hayden's prediction here. You'll love it.
My early prediction.
Glad to hear it.
Leafs versus Oilers in the final. Leafs win games at 50 overtimes. That's all. Listen, we really thought there's a good chance of that happening.
Always, Hayden. Always coming.
Gordon, how's it going? Welcoming, Gordon. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome. Prep celebrating 7 months. Gator 15 months. It's crazy. These memberships. You guys are too much, and I appreciate so much of it.
We got the best channel members. We got the best.
You know, I want to say wholeheartedly, kind of take a pause for a second. It's because of our channel members that we were able to do a show like this tonight, because we went out, we had to use a different set of streaming software, not what we regularly do for our game broadcasts. And there's a monthly fee for this new streaming software. And so what comes in from channel members allows us to go out and get it to do things like this. So big applause and a whoop whoop to all of our channel members.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fist pumps.
And we're going to continue. It's so funny. There's such a battle going on my Instagram right now. If you missed it, I've been posting some old Leaf clips on Instagram. First, we posted the LA King fight. You know, when Marty McSorley got the elbow up on Doug Gilmour coming across the middle, then Wendell Clark comes in and starts nailing him. And then a couple of days ago, I posted the clip of the Gretzky high stick on Gilmour and the missed call. We've been talking about it for 2 years. So we also posted it on YouTube. We got Beverly is gifting a membership. Beverly, thank you so much. And Vic, congratulations.
No, it was I Can Prep.
I Can Prep. What did I say?
You said Beverly. And
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Vic Quick was gifted the membership. So welcome to the member club, Vic.
Yes. Prep, thank you so much. How do I,
Is your chat
one
being
thing on this
silly?
new streaming software is I
Your
can't
chat being
see.
silly?
Yeah, like I can't see some of the messages, but I have it on another
Oh.
chat here, and it's really small, and my eyes aren't good. So thank you so much,
Ah,
Prep. Prep, appreciate it,
you.
and Vic, congratulations on the channel
Yeah. You're
membership.
still so bitter. So bitter.
So
So
bitter.
bitter. So
So
bitter.
yeah, so
So
we
bitter.
had to post that clip because we
I was
talked about.
thinking, I was wondering when I saw the other one with Mick Sorley, I was like, what? Where's the Gretzky Gilmore one? I was thought for sure that's going to be the first classic clip. Like, I was waiting for that. I was like, what? Oh, and you got my message about Gretzky, one of Gretzky's big hockey sticks, like one of his championship hockey sticks is going for sale.
I saw that was crazy.
Yeah,
Prep,
you need to buy it to go with your $1 million Gretzky card.
Yeah. Prep, that is awesome. Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me Vegas Golden
Vegas
Knights.
Nation. Cheers
So
to Prep for that one. Yeah,
so
Sam does need glasses.
yeah, I do. Now you threw me off. appreciate that so much.
Keep throwing weird stuff in the chat. We'll just mix Sam up all night.
Gretzky high stick. So we posted it. It's actually, if you don't remember, you haven't seen it, it is posted on a short on the channel. So if you go to the main channel page or the shorts page, you can see that. But I also posted it on TikTok and Instagram. And the last couple of days, there's a big battle. People going back and forth on TikTok, and my Instagram is blowing up because people are arguing back and forth about it. I didn't realize early in that series, Gilmore headbutts Mick Sorley, and I totally forgot about it. And so many people are saying about how Gilmore should have never been in that game. He should have been suspended. It was crazy. So I had to go back and watch that clip of the headbutt. It was vicious. Like Mick Sorley did go after Gilmore, but he fully turned around and just went for the headbutt. Was awesome. But
totally forgot about it.
So many people are calling Gilmore on the dive, saying he should get an embellishment penalty. And I don't think that penalty existed back then. I don't think they called people for diving. That's more kind of
seem to happen. It didn't seem to happen as much back in the day, to my recollections, but I could be completely wrong about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue to post some old kind of highlight clips. So if you're not following on Instagram or TikTok, definitely go follow Instagram and TikTok. A little sneak peek. The next one I'm thinking about posting, if I can get a good quality version of it, is the Nick Borshevsky Game 7 OT goal against the Detroit Red Wings. That was such a crazy memory. It was so awesome. So for that one.
We do have to have a good clip whenever you get to it of the golden goal. We want a clip of that. We have to have a good clip of that.
The golden goal, absolutely. If you're watching on TikTok or you're just coming in, if you want to come on the show, come on over to YouTube, and you can come on the show and join us, share your opinions. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're just popping in the chat, if you want to join us, if you want to come on the show, feel free to click that link in the pinned message, and you can come on and share your opinions. So we were just wrapping up talking about the Edmonton Oilers. I think there's we talked about the Leafs. We talked about a little bit about the Sens, the Oilers, the Flames.
What about, did we get to Pillow Hands? Have we talked about Pillow Hands?
You know what? No, we didn't. And that's a good point. I was going to go to Vancouver, but we can go back.
We don't need to talk about him, because if we start talking about him, Bear Shark's going to come in here and start laughing at us.
Yeah. We talked about we didn't talk about the new signings in Toronto. We really just talked about, the Nylander situation and Samsonov situation, but maybe we should. And let's talk about some of these signings. If you want to come in and join us to talk about some of these Leaf signings, come on in, come join.
Come talk puck. Come talk puck with us.
Don't be shy. All right.
Fight very much.
So let's start with Tyler Bertuzzi. Tyler Bertuzzi, this is an interesting signing because I was actually really mad at him when he was on Detroit. I don't know what it was. Something bothered me about it. And remember, he was one of the players that refused to get vaccinated. So he actually couldn't come into Canada and play. And there was a whole thing. And listen, a choice is your choice. We're not getting into that, but I was just the way the whole situation was handled. I thought it was handled poorly on so many different fronts, and it made him come across just not well.
Right.
And he obviously goes over to
No.
Boston, plays, great for Boston. He is a good player. He's a feisty, dirty player, right? He's gonna go in the corners. He's gonna muck it up. He's gonna score you some goals. I really like this pickup in Bertuzzi. I think he's what we needed. I mean, he's different than Michael Bunting, right? Different than Michael Bunting. Thank you, Gator. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, it did, as a side, I would say, he wasn't vaccinated. He didn't handle it right. I was different sport, but quick sidebar. I was absolutely laughing with Novak Djokovic at the Wimbledon because he gets to the finals, but he doesn't win. And I'm like, good. I mean, looks good on you. Like he just caused such controversy for those choices and getting to some tournaments and then having to leave, not playing.
It was nice.
Just turned into a whole thing. It was just turned into a whole thing, and it's ridiculous. But so I'm glad. The other player was a young new player, so good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. And so Bertuzzi, I think he's going to come in and make an impact right away for Toronto. He's going to be that greasy player.
Yeah.
We saw when we played the Panthers in the playoffs.
So.
Florida came in, and when you look at Sam Bennett and Gudas, and they were just running over us, right? The Leafs didn't have a chance with them. Oh, sorry, I'm stuck behind the table here. I got to kind of shuffle around. They didn't have a chance, right? And that's what Toronto didn't have. They didn't have somebody to run over the Panthers. And so I like this signing a lot. He's going to be a good player to do that, along with Max Domi. I mean, Max Domi, again.
Sam, I think you're
What's that?
Oh, your signal was getting a little silly there for a second, but it looks like it's better now.
Hopefully it's all right. So yeah, Max Domi, I'm impressed with him as well. He really, really, I think is going to make a good addition to the team. If anything, these guys are going to help stick up the Matthews, the Marners, and then we talk about Ryan Reeves. So Ryan Reeves. Now, I'm not going to let, again, our partner, the Bear Shark, I'm not going to let his opinion on Ryan Reeves sway me, because we know how much he did not like Ryan Reeves.
No.
And coming from a diehard Rangers fan, he had a lot to say on the subject of Ryan Reeves. So here
we got to see how he plays. Sometimes playing with a different team helps. So I mean, we got to see the first few games. How does he gel with the team? Give the guy a chance.
Let's put it this way for Ryan Reeves. He is, where'd he go? He's 36 years old. We signed him for 3 years, right? So, it could be till he's 38, 39-ish. So that's, a 36-year-old is already towards the end of his career. Not to mention, Reeves is a fighter, right? He's a tough guy. He's an enforcer. So the career is even less for him. Reeves last year with Minnesota played 61 games. He had 5 goals and 10 assists, 15 points. He was a -1. In 21, or sorry, hang on. Oh, that was there. Yeah, in the year before, 21-22, in 69 games, 5 goals and 8 assists. He was a -13. But it's not the goal scoring that's going to make it happen. It's going to be in the penalty minutes. And here's Hayden's going to come back in. Hayden. Oh, no, he dropped.
Oh, well, I will step out so that other people can come in and talk. But I want to say, go Hockey, go, and 84 days, hockey fans, 84 days.
84 days. Well, Dallas, thank you very much for.
Oh, you're welcome. May I impose and do a very, very quick PSA while I'm here?
Sure.
There is a movie out. I don't want to bring things down. I want to keep this positive, but there's a movie that has come out called Sounds of Freedom, and it's based on a true story about human trafficking and the child sex trafficking trade, and it's really getting out there to raise awareness. So please go see it, raise awareness. I saw it the other night, and it's very, very well done and amazing. And if you Google, you can pay it forward and buy a ticket for somebody else who can't afford to go see the movie, or if you can't afford to go, you can be gifted a ticket so that everybody can see this movie and raise awareness about this really big problem. It was just the movie really touched me, and I wanted to spread the word.
Thank you, Dallas. Appreciate it as always. Bring in the PSAs. So thank you very much, and thanks for.
Yeah, I don't want to bring things down. I know it's a serious subject, but just had to get that out there because it's super important.
For sure. All right. Well, thank you, Dallas. Appreciate it.
Have a
Hayden,
good night, everybody.
I don't know if Hayden was having signal trouble, but if you want to come in, you want to come back in and join me, you are absolutely more than welcome. Simply click that link in the pinned message. We're going to be winding down very soon. So last call, if you're watching on TikTok and you want to come over and join us, come on over. Mike on TikTok, who are the Leafs getting in trade? So Mike, that is the $1 million question right now. We've heard so many things going around and around and around. We talked about, a potential Nylander trade going to Calgary in Noah Hannafin and Backlund coming back with, I think, a draft pick was in there as well. There's the latest trade rumor that's going around is to the San Jose Sharks in exchange in a package deal with Karlsson coming over, some of Karlsson's salary being retained. I haven't heard much on that deal heating up over the last little bit, but that would be an interesting one. And, William Karlsson, let's talk about Karlsson for a minute. I'll get back to Ryan Reeves, but let's talk about Karlsson because he certainly is a hot topic right now. William Karlsson, if you followed his career, he's been an okay defender, right? Well, I shouldn't say okay. He's been a pretty decent defender, but he comes with a hefty price. He's making $11.5 million right now. And when you look at what he's done, he really, over the last several years, let's ignore last year, he's been about a 50, 60 point getter, right? He's had some blips. If you go back to 15-16, he had 82 points. 17-18 was 62. If you go to 19-20, it was 20 points. 18-19 was 45 points. And then all of a sudden last year, he plays full 82 games. The years previously with San Jose, he was only playing 53, 56, 52. All of a sudden, he plays the full 82 games last year, and he gets 101 points. 101 points. Jordan, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. I hope your stream went well with the Bear Shark, talking some travel. Of course, that's Jordan's Disney Adventures. Make sure to check him out as well on YouTube. So he goes and he puts in 101 points, 25 goals, 76 assists, was a minus 26. And I agree, Mike, Karlsson is not what we need. We don't need another player like this. Now, do I think Karlsson is going to get 101 points again? I'd be shocked. I would be shocked. I don't want to say no as a definite because these players, man, they like to make me eat my words. So I don't like this deal unless, we got to see what else is in this potential package. But I don't think Karlsson is the guy. And we already kind of goofed up with the Klingberg signing. We shouldn't have signed Klingberg. Don't get me started on that. Hannafin is the guy we needed. Exactly, right? I think Hannafin is a nice fit. The problem is, he needs an extension as well. Hannafin needs that extension. Plus, we need a little bit more from Calgary, and I don't know if Calgary has enough. Seeing what happened in the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade, and what the kind of trading rate is, I don't know if Calgary has enough that would make fans say, hey, this was a good deal, right? There's a lot that we would need back. Now, I think Calgary definitely has some workable pieces. I mean, when we talk about Hannafin, he is a UFA, right? He made just under $5 million last year. So can it be a sign and trade type of deal? I don't know if I really, Backlund is a good skilled player. he's in the same boat. He made 5-3 as an unrestricted free agent. So if we were to flip Nylander over to Calgary, and we would need Hannafin and Backlund or maybe some other piece to come over. A lot of folks have been saying they'd like Lindholm as part of a deal, or Tanev as part of a deal. The problem Calgary has is most of their D are all on UFAs. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there and where things are going to go. So that's kind of what I think about Calgary, and it's going to be a tough decision-making process of what to do with William Nylander for sure. So D'Angelo's situation, let's find D'Angelo here. Let's see. Josh Bailey. So Mike, I'm a huge Josh Bailey fan. I would be all over a move that saw him come to Toronto. I think he is a great player. And I would be okay with that. I really would. That's not the one we wanted. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. There we go. So D'Angelo, yeah. I'm not a big fan of D'Angelo, to be honest. Playing first power play, I think around $5 million. Yeah, he was making $5 million right on. He was making the last couple seasons. He is a free agent. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy for us. Young though, he definitely got some age on him, which would be great. I hope Sam gets to this question. It was a good one. Oh, I missed the question. What question, Gerard? What question? If you saw the bunt cake, yes, I definitely make a mess in the kitchen, but it will be fun. Can't believe signing Klingberg to $4 million, not Chen for $2 million. So I tell you, talking about that, that is a very interesting point, right? Why didn't we sign Luke Schenn? I think there was more going around than meets the eye, as we kind of heard from Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly in an interview, he talked a little bit about the spotlight in Toronto being a lot harder to play under than one would imagine. And you have to believe that with all the media and all the fans focused on you the way they are, and the way the media and the fans just go at you on social media and everything, it's a lot of pressure. And while Ryan O'Reilly didn't come out and say that was the main reason why he left, I think it's certainly, it was a contributing factor. And I think that's part of why Luke Schenn left. I think the other thing with Luke Schenn is the Leafs, we're going to pay him next to nothing. And he signed elsewhere and got more money. So you can't blame him for that. How do you expect Domi to contribute to the Leafs, and will he play as good as his father? Paraphrasing. Gotcha. So no, I don't think he's going to be the same as his father. Very different player. Ty Domi was that enforcer to drop the gloves and go at it. Max Domi, while he has some physicality, Domi actually has a decent pair of hands. So I think, Domi can mix it up. He can protect, but he can score and he can play make. So I think he's going to be a nice addition. He can fit on that first or second line on the wing, or he can play third line. He's very mechanical in the way you can move him around and slot him into the lineup. He's kind of like that utility guy, right? Kind of like Rance Molnix on the Blue Jays back in the day. He can play a variety of positions, and I think he'll fit in nicely. So I don't have a high expectation on Domi to put a lot of points on the board, but I have a high expectation that he's going to go in the corners, he's going to look out for his teammates, and he's going to be in the right place at the right time. Mike Dumba to the Leafs. So you know what? Mike, I'm with you there. I feel like I know you. I'm a big Matt Dumba fan. I have been since his rookie days. I think Matt Dumba definitely can do some good things. And Darth Gator coming to the member squad. Darth Gator, thank you so much. Is a rookie member. Appreciate it. That one came through. Some of the other ones didn't come through, but that one did. Thank you, Darth Gator. Which Domi we talking about, Sam? There's two. I'm talking about Max Domi. Ty is not coming back. Max Domi is coming in and definitely will have an impact. Played with Marner, London Knights, chemistry. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jake. Definitely played well together in London, and I'd be interested to see if that spark can continue and come back. That's in my. So I did a video a little while ago about kind of mix and matching the lines after they signed these guys, and what I kind of predicted in that video was I kind of had Max Domi sliding in on that top line to play kind of Matthews, Marner, and Domi. A lot of people put Bertuzzi on the top line. I like to have Domi there to see if there is that chemistry, see if they could get them going together. I don't know if they will, but that would be interesting. Monte Cristo, what's going on? Welcome in. Keandre Miller for Nylander. Listen, I wouldn't hate that. Keandre Miller, a solid defensive young kid, good talent. I don't know if the Rangers would be willing to part with Keandre Miller. He's such a good D, and to bring in someone like Nylander, the Rangers have so much power up front. I don't know if he really solves a problem the Rangers have. But I would love, listen, if Keandre Miller was available, I would definitely enjoy seeing him in Toronto. A little controversial, got in some trouble with that spit last year, but I think he's still a good D player. I know Trey Living ain't done. Defense needs a huge upgrade. Mike, you're absolutely right. Toronto needs to do something on the defensive side. We started talking about it. We've been bouncing around. And this is exactly the point of this show, right? It's the Wednesday wraparound where we bounce around from player to player, story to story. And this is exactly what we do. And when we come back, let's talk about that Toronto defense. And again, if you want to come in, if you want to join me live on stream on YouTube, if you're watching on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, click the link at the top of the pinned message on YouTube, and you can come live on stream and we can talk. We can hear your opinions. But when we look at some of the challenges, right, some of the things going on here with the Leafs D, we know what we're getting from Morgan Rielly, right? We know what we're getting. He's an okay defenseman. He's got some upside in terms of offense. He has a good vision of the ice. TJ Brody had an up and down season last year. He struggled at times. He really did struggle, but TJ Brody I think he was a good asset, still good to have. A lot of Leaf fans want to see him run out of town. They want to see him traded. I don't want to see him traded. I want him to be here. I like TJ Brody a lot. Klingberg is my problem. $4 million for Klingberg. Klingberg is arguably, I don't want to say a downside to Justin Hall. Klingberg gives them a little bit of a shot from the point. He gives them that power play quarterback they needed. But I think he's a defensive liability. Now, in fairness, the last couple of years, Anaheim and Dallas, Anaheim is Anaheim. They were lousy. But he put up a -28 in Anaheim. He put up a -28 in Dallas. The year before, 2021, -15, -10. In fact, the last time he was a plus, now he actually was a plus in the few games he played in Minnesota last year, but the first season he was a plus before those was in 2018-19, he was a +6. And then 17-18, he was a +10. So some struggles there with Dallas and where he pulls out. So I don't think Klingberg is the answer. And I think they kind of spent money on him that they could have spent from anywhere else. I heard the locker room tight. They don't hang out together. So yeah, Mike, that's kind of what we're talking about. Hey, Peter, how's it going? That's kind of what they were talking about. Locker room being tight. I think that was another one of the Ryan O'Reilly stories that were coming out. He was shocked on the playoffs that the team didn't go out for team dinners. They didn't hang out together. So there are definitely some locker room challenges out there. But I don't want to speculate on that because we don't really know. We don't really know what's going on. Plus minus doesn't really mean anything. Well, it does a little bit, but you're right. You can't put a lot of stake on it. If you play in a bad team, you're going to be a big minus. But as a defenseman, it just means you're on the ice for a lot of goals. But you're right. It's tough to weigh a player's performance on plus minus. I'm not a big John Klingberg fan. I don't think we need more offensive defensemen. Morgan Rielly rushes the puck. Brody rushes the puck. Jake McCabe, who I actually really like. I thought Jake McCabe was a huge acquisition last year He can move the puck. He's a really good defenseman. Don't forget, we still have Liljegren and Connor Timmins, two young guns waiting to get in and make a difference. So I don't think John Klingberg was the answer, but we're obviously stuck with him now. So we're gonna let's give it the first couple months of the season, and what we'll do is kind of come the end of the year where we'll do a little evaluation on were these acquisitions what we thought they would be or not. So that's kind of my thought on Klingberg. Let's go back. Let's finish talking about the forwards. We talked about the core four a lot. We talked about Bertuzzi and Domi. We didn't really talk about the David Kempf signing. I love this signing. David Kempf was one of those players, such a good third line center. He goes in, he can win you important faceoffs when you need it. He really, really gets in there. So David Kempf, a critical signing. I think he's going to be a good piece to have around at a pretty reasonable price. Kelly Yarncroc, again, we picked him up previously. Good salary. We got him for a couple more years. Again, another great player to have on this team. Good depth player. Sam Lafferty, who we picked up last year, sat out, was a healthy scratch for quite a long time. He'll probably see more ice time this season. I don't really have an opinion on Sam Lafferty yet. I got to see how he develops. Matt Nyes. So Matt Nyes, we saw him come last year, played a few games, got into the playoffs, got his goal, right? Got his goal before he got taken out in the Florida series. I'm really excited to see what Matthew Nyes can do in this upcoming year. I expect it's going to be his kind of quote unquote breakout year, but I think he's going to make a big difference, right? I think Matthew Nyes is going to start showing some of his flashes of greatness that a lot of Leaf fans are kind of holding, thinking he's going to be high and mighty. I think the Leafs' biggest concern is goaltending. Peter, I agree with you. I think right now goaltending is definitely the challenge for Toronto, as it is for a lot of teams. Right? We talked about Buffalo needing a tender and Detroit and some of these other, Edmonton. Toronto's in a bit of a different situation than some of these other teams. Toronto has a goalie situation that they're kind of in their own fate. Samsonov, we know his hearing. We talked about it earlier. His hearing is coming up the end of the week. So on Friday, Samsonov hearing is coming out, and we're going to have to wait and see what he agrees on. I still think he's going to be in that 3.5 to 3.8, 3.9 range, depending on whatever he comes to an agreement for. That's going to open up the second buyout period, and that gets into the whole Matt Murray situation. So I think Samsonov is going to get in there. But again, you can't start him the entire year. You got to play him well with Joseph Woll. Joseph Woll, I thought, was excellent in the games we saw him in. He needs to continue to develop, and he can't do that on the bench. Now, it's unfortunate the Leafs lost Eric Shallegren, because I really liked Shallegren as well, but the Leafs were always going to pick Woll over Shallegren, so Shallegren had to go, and good for him. Maybe he'll get some more playing time. Nyes is primed. Hope you're right. He's a good size. He's got a good hockey frame. Yeah, I think Matthew Nyes, it's his year to shine and get in there. Timmins is solid defense. Gio should retire. He was got. You know what, Mike? Couple good points there, right? Giordano. Listen, Giordano is your shot blocking leader, NHL shot blocking leader, and Giordano. He had a tough year last year because the Leafs decor was so injured, so battered and bruised, that Giordano had to play a lot of hockey. So by the time they got to the playoffs, Giordano was just, you're right, he was spent. He was exhausted. He played a ton. Let's not forget that Giordano, he's 39 years of age, right? In hockey, that's over the hill. But listen, he played well. He definitely slowed down. And I kind of like the idea. Connor Timmins and Timothy Liljegren. I liked what I saw at Liljegren, but Connor Timmins hasn't really had the same opportunity. I think he is going to be a good defenseman. Is it time for Giordano to move on? The problem is, you have Morgan Riley as a lefty. You have Jake McCabe, who can play both sides, left or right. And you have Giordano, who's the other left. Otherwise, you're bringing over one of the right-handed defense to play on the left side, which, again, it can be accommodated. You just got to get the player used to playing on the opposite side. Hayden says Samsonov didn't have a reliable backup last season. That's exactly right. So you got to let him have. I thought last year him and Murray were going to play a nice tandem. They'd play together well and kind of get things done. I thought they'd figure it out. And of course, with Murray being hurt all the time and then Sammy got hurt, it didn't quite work out to the way we expected it to, or the way we thought it would. So it was a tough go. That's for sure. A very, very tough go. Now, if you're coming in, and I haven't said it at all, if you're coming in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. I haven't been looking at the stats at all. Been having so much fun talking hockey, but hit that thumbs up. We certainly appreciate it. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be doing this every week. We are going to get on and start talking some hockey and have a good time, bringing you all the latest news and whatnot. Now, if nothing has happened, if there's no changes in the news, that's okay. We're still going to get together. You're still going to be invited to come in and join me live on stream so we can talk some hockey. Now, as we are wrapping up, I do want to give a huge shout out. Oh, Peter says, best place, YouTube. Peter, YouTube, 100% of the way. Come on over to YouTube, because then instead of just looking at me, we got some graphics. You'll get to see all the guests that come on. If you're brand new to us here, and mainly Peter and those on TikTok, if you're just finding us the first time, we are primarily a hockey YouTube channel. We follow the Toronto Maple Leafs all season long. We will do live play-by-play of Leaf games, as well as some Panther games and a couple other teams. So we will definitely be calling hockey play-by-play all season long. As well, we bring in a lot of other pieces of entertainment. Well, so for the course of the summer, we do some Blue Jays baseball streams, which we're going to get back to in the coming days. We are also tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Sam's putting the apron on. We're getting in the kitchen for our second annual baking stream. If you missed the first one where I don't even remember what we made. Oh, we made a bunt cake in honor of Michael Bunting. We made a bunt cake. That was fun. It was a lot of laughs, so it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. If you're around, come hang out while we're baking an apple crisp crumble. So that's going to be cool. Also coming up on the channel, we have our Lego Disney castle. It has arrived. We're ready to put it together. So when we get back, probably in the coming weekend, we're going to get some streams set up. It's going to take us a lot of streams, but we're going to build this Lego castle together. Again, just a chance to hang out and have some fun. And of course, as everything comes to be with all the hockey news, we will get videos and shorts posted as things are breaking. The next thing to look for is going to be that Samsonov arbitration hearing, which is going to happen Friday. So we might not get some results on Friday, but as soon as we do, we will get those results posted so you guys know exactly what's going on. There he is. Peter, what's going on? Found his way over to YouTube. Thank you for coming over here. Of course, make sure you hit that subscribe as well. Brett Ritchie, Leafs fourth liner, 700,000. You know what? I'm kind of done with the Richies, Mike. Nick Ritchie scared me away from the Richies. I don't know if I'd want another one. I don't think the Leafs need depth right now. They got enough depth players. They got to start just figuring out a strategy. I won't make the stream. No, that's okay, Hayden. You'll be able to watch the replay. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time for sure. So with that, as we're winding down today's opening episode of the Wednesday Wraparound, I want to thank all the mods for coming in and making sure to keep things really in the chat as we've been talking around. I want to thank our Gerard for the super chat and Prep for the gifted membership. So thank you very much for that. I want to thank everyone for coming in, hitting that like button. And of course, for those that came in and hit the subscribe, thank you very much. We really, really appreciate it. Curtis, it will be interesting for sure. We like to do it our own way and have a whole lot of fun doing it. So with that said, last call. If anybody would like to come on live and give me your final thoughts, now's the time. Hit that link. If you're on TikTok, come over to YouTube, hit that link in the pinned message, come on board, give us your final thoughts, and then we're going to wrap it up and say goodnight as this premiere episode of the Wednesday Wraparound is taking place. If you've missed most of the show and you're just coming in late, good news, you can go back and watch the replay. We talked about most of the Canadian teams. I think we talked about everybody except for Montreal and in Vancouver. So we'll definitely pick them up next time. We're going to be watching to see what happens over this next week of moves, and it is going to be a lot of fun. You can't wait for the season. I cannot wait for the season either. It is going to be awesome. It is going to be so much fun rocking. We had a great time this past season. When we got together, we were calling playoff games. We had at times, we had 1,800 people in the chat with us. It was absolutely insane. We had a blast and can't wait for it. Of course, when we get towards the end of August, I don't want to talk about the end of summer. It's kind of disappointing, but thrilling at the same time. When we get to the end of August, we're going to be looking at prospect camps and tournaments. The prospect tournament down in Michigan that takes place, Toronto took part in it last year. I assume they're going to take part in it again. We will bring you play-by-play of those games. As long as they're broadcast, we'll be able to bring you the call. And then, of course, preseason games will be right back into it, and the season will be here before you know it, and we'll get to do it all over again. If the boss wasn't asleep, I would pop in and change it to a lightning pre-show. There you go, Gator. Yes, you know what? We'll spend some time next week talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning. Final thought, take care of yourselves and enjoy each other. There you go, Prep. That is absolutely perfect. We'll talk about Tampa Bay next week. If there are teams you want me to talk about, if there are teams you want to discuss, send me a DM on Instagram, send me an email. We'll get it on the list. We'll make sure that we cover it for you. You are very, very welcome, Rockin'. We had such a great time. This upcoming hockey season is going to be an absolute blast. An absolute blast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if nobody else wants to come in and join us, I want to thank those that did come in and hang out. Now that you've seen it, now that we've gone through an episode, you know what it's all about. So maybe next week you will feel more comfortable to come in and join us, whether you come in for 5 minutes or 15 minutes. We love to have you. So from all of us here at the Samwelb12 Experience, thank you so much for making this a lot of fun. And make sure to check out the channel, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and we'll see you real soon. Take care, everybody. Good night.